Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day so far. In today's video, as you can see from the title down below, I am going to be talking to you about some makeup trends that I am seeing coming into the makeup world this year and talking you through my product recommendations to create these trendy looks. So I did quite a bit of research yesterday and I was looking up on various different websites and things what makeup artists are doing for catwalk shows and things like that, the trends that they are seeing come through for 2023, and these are all trends that I love. Less coverage, metallic skin, metallic eyes, pops of really bright blush, all really beautiful things, and I'm going to be just talking you through what products I'm recommending to do this look. All of the products that I'm using are affordable and they are all cruelty free, so let's just get started. The base products, I've noticed a real focus on skincare infused base products, so you are actually improving your skin with the makeup products that you're using, with the foundations, primers, all of that stuff. And also, there's a real focus on less coverage and not necessarily covering up any imperfections that you have. With that in mind, I am going to be using the Collection Gorgeous Glow Glossy Serum Primer. I feel like nobody talks about this, and it's incredible. I absolutely love it. I will show you it on the back of my hand. It is a proper glossy, sticky serum. It's infused with glycerin and hyaluronic acid, so it does improve your skin, and it also leaves it feeling so tacky that everything really grabs onto it. This is the primer that I used on my wedding day. It's absolutely beautiful, and it also gives you the most intense glow. Like, I was definitely umming and ahhing between using the e.l.f. Filter Finish. However, I feel like if you're looking for that like skincare infused element, it has to be this one. It's so pretty. It really is that like glass skin trend, which is maybe a few years old now, but I am still absolutely on that trend. And the skincare in this as well is what really like drew me to it for this video. So you can see it is so like reflective. It's also really nice and tacky. I don't know how you can tell that on camera, but it is. So it really grabs onto your other base products. The foundation that I'm going to use is the Re-Love Super Serum Hyaluronic Acid Foundation. So this is a low coverage serum based foundation, so it is going to give you that skincare element as well. There is also a real focus on real skin and real skin texture, not necessarily covering up things. The Photoshop era is so out, like people aren't using the filters, or they shouldn't be. People shouldn't be using like filters and things to really perfect the skin. I feel like consumers really want natural skin. They want to see how these products really perform. So I'm going to take a little bit of this onto the back of my hand. I usually do this straight onto my face, however this base is so tacky I wanted to put it onto the back of my hand first. And again, I would normally use a brush with this foundation to get a little bit more coverage, but I'm going to use a sponge today. This is the EcoTools Bio Blender sponge, and I'm going to just really work some of that into there and just bounce this over. We only want a light coverage. We don't want anything to be covered. You don't want it to be heavy. And again, this has all of those lovely skincare ingredients as well. So many of the articles that I was reading were saying about like fresh face makeup and everything looking really natural and really like lived in. Like everything just looks like you woke up like that, and everything looks really soft and natural. The sort of contour is out, and I did feel like that was already like leaving us last year. However, this year I feel like everything that I was reading was saying contour is out. Even I've read a few things that said that bronzer is out, and I don't know how I feel about that. I'm so pale, I feel like I need a little bit of bronzer, but it's definitely like more leaning towards blushy skin and really glossy, iridescent, angelic looking highlighted skin, which I absolutely love. Another thing that I read as well was saying about not using concealer and like leaving your eyelids blank so that the colour of your eyelids acts as your transition, like your crease colour, which I thought was really interesting, like not using those heavier products around your eyes and just letting the natural colour of your eyes be that statement colour. And I really liked that. So although I have just bounced that sponge like over the eye area, I am just slightly wiping off that coverage through the crease a little bit to give me some of that colour back in the eyes. And I'm not going to go in with concealer today. I feel like if I take that foundation sort of up to the eyes, I feel like that looks fine. So like I said, bronzer is out, like on its way out, but for my own preferences, I feel like I just need a little bit. The trends are leaning more towards blush, as like using blush as your contour, using your blush shade all over the face, so on your cheeks as you normally would, but also taking it up towards the temples. Even some of the articles that I read were saying to take it across the top of your forehead as well. Obviously, all of these trends are like personal choice, implement whichever ones you want to do. However, I am so pale and I already have quite a lot of redness in my skin, and obviously we're not completely covering it, so I want just a little bit of bronzer for the blush to then melt nicely into. So this is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I'm just going in on the very tip of the Real Techniques blush brush, and I'm going to just warm up the skin a tiny little bit, but keep it a lot further back than what I normally would and a lot softer. So just a tiny little bit, teeny tiny, a lot less than what I normally would. And I am also going to take a little bit of this across the top of my forehead and just a little bit around the sides as well. Again, I am going to put blush up there like the trends say, but I just want a little bit to blend it into. So then for blush, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Powder Blush Palette, and I'm going to mix these two top shades together. These two are matte and the bottom two are shimmery. I may use one of those as like a topper, but I'm going to just dip into these two, really load up my load up my blush brush, and then I'm going to just go quite heavy in the normal places that I do, but more of it. And I'm also going to take this, I mean I always take it sort of up to the temples like this to really blend it in, but I'm also going to take it across the forehead, which feels a little bit scary to me because I already have that redness, but I feel like these two mixed together are an alright colour. Obviously the colour of the year is Viva Magenta, so it is that bright sort of berry pink, so I feel like that's going to be a really big trend in like blushes and lipsticks. I'm still on the hunt for a bright pink lipstick like that from a cruelty-free brand. Let me know if you have any recommendations. I'm definitely in the market. There was also a lot of focus on a really statement lip, so that's definitely something to like keep an eye out for. I feel like there's going to be a lot of really bright, vibrant lipsticks. I mean, we were seeing all sorts of colours mentioned in the articles that I was reading. There was like bright orange and, you know, these berry tones and things like that. I'm so here for it. I'm yet to find one that I really love from a cruelty-free brand. I found my perfect orange lipstick last year, and now I won't use it because it's not from a cruelty-free brand, but I'm sure I will find one this year. I'll let you know if I do. Another trend that I was seeing was taking your blush in like a C shape from the eyelids onto the cheeks. So using that blush shade as your transition to make everything sort of really seamless on the skin. We definitely saw a lot of like blush trends last year with like the cold girl makeup and crying girl makeup and all of those things, and I don't think blush is going anywhere. This is one that's going to be staying for a while, I think. For highlight, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Baked Highlighter in the shade Moonlit Pearls. I tested this recently on my channel in a full face of e.l.f. makeup. I will leave that linked up here. This is intense, but this like wet look skin, this is the highlight that you need. If you're a similar skin tone to me, this is the highlight that you need. It's incredible. So I've just swirled my brush in there. Look, it's so blinding. It's so pretty. Another trend that I saw crop up time and time again was this like metallic shine, and I screenshot one article that said alloy inspired shimmer, and I just thought that that was such a beautiful way to word this trend. It's so metallic and so blinding and so reflective that it looks like metal dripped onto your skin, and I am of course absolutely here for that. It doesn't look chunky, it doesn't look glittery, it looks metallic. Now, brow trends can be a little bit controversial. I am not going to bleach my brows, but that is definitely sort of the vibe that is coming into trend. More of a light brow, a more sort of futuristic look where you don't have these big fluffy brows. I'm not going to be plucking my brows. That was definitely something that kept coming up, like over plucking the brows or bleaching them and then drawing them in a lot thinner. I am not here for that. I grew up, or I was born in the 90s, and that just, no, a lot of people are still struggling from that, and I would not recommend it. But a more natural brow, a lighter colour, a lighter hand when you're drawing your brows in, I am absolutely here for. So I'm going in with more e.l.f. products, the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in neutral brown, and then I'm going to run just a tiny little bit of the e.l.f. Wow Brow through. So I'm going to use this teeny tiny little pencil to just draw a few tiny little hair-like strokes in. Obviously I already have very fair brows, and another thing that I saw mentioned a few times was after you've done your foundation, brush through your brows with a spoolie so that you don't have that build-up of product through your brows, and that will help to make them look more natural and make all of your base look more natural and things, which I thought was a really interesting tip. But I'm going to use this pencil to just do really tiny little hair-like strokes. I'm not filling them in how I necessarily normally would, but I am just going to colour them in a little bit. Of course, if you wanted to, you could like fully blank them out. I'm not that brave. So that's the brows done. If you've seen any of my videos, then you will know this already feels like very light for me. This is a lot less than what I would normally do. I love me a dark brow, but I'm here for a lighter, fluffier, more natural brow. That's like what the trends were. That's what a lot of the articles were saying. A lot of the trends that are coming up this year, it's just more natural. It's more lived in. It's more I actually woke up like this. This is actually what my skin looks like. This is actually what my brows look like. And I really enjoy it. So moving on to the eyes. I saw a few different contrasting trends, and obviously I can only do one at a time. So one was like this metallic shimmery slick of colour across the eyes, a lot of like metallic shades, more like silvers. The cool tones are definitely here to stay. And another trend was this lived in smudged out black dark smoky liner eye moment, and I'm going to do that in a separate video because I'd already had that video idea in my mind. So subscribe if you want to see that one, but today I'm going to be talking to you about some metallic washes of colour, cool tones, metallics, all of that good stuff. So the products that I'm going to be using today is the Relove Eye Light Metallic Eyeshadow. This is in the shade bling, and in the tube it almost looks like a lilac, but on the skin this is like a silver slick of metal across your eyes. It's so pretty, and I'm going to just use a little bit of the Beauty Bay neutral palette just through the crease to create a little bit of definition. I know we've got that blush through there and there isn't any like concealer or anything across the lids. There is already that little bit of definition there, but I just wanted to use a few more of these like cooler tones down at the bottom just to create a little bit more, just a little bit more of something. So I'm going to go in with a really small fluffy brush into the shade Heather, this cool grey. I'm using the wrong hand here, one moment. So that Heather shade, and I'm going to keep this sort of in the crease on the outer corner just to add a little bit of a smudge of colour out there, and more in these like cool tones as well. I'm also going to take this under the eye. And another trend that I saw coming up so many times was that these eye looks are going to not be perfect. Things aren't going to be perfectly blended out. It's not the Instaglam 2016-17 era that was when I first started really getting into makeup. It's all going to be smudgy and grungy and 90s, which I really love. It makes it a lot easier. So this is just that one shade sort of all over the outer corner, and then I'm going in with the Eye Light liquid metallic eyeshadow. Of course you could use one of the shimmers or like the metallic-y shades out of the Beauty Bay palette. So many of these would work, but when I thought of this trend I had to use this one. So putting the palette away, and I will get onto the liquid eyeshadow. So I've got a fluffy brush on hand, a small round fluffy brush, and I'm going to just paint this directly onto the eyes, and you will see instantly how shimmery and like metallic this is. It's not chunky or glittery, it's just a wash of beautiful iridescent metallic colour, and I'm blending this right out with that fluffy brush. It's almost giving me like that glossy eye look from 3 or 4 years ago, I can't really remember, but when like brands started coming out with these eye glosses that like remain sticky, except this will dry down and it will stay like this all day. It's so pretty. So that has completely dried now, and it's just like a slick of metal across the eyes. I absolutely love it. One of the lash trends that I was reading about, the natural lashes, are out, and my favourite, the clumpy spidery lash, is coming back in, and I am so here for that. I have not stopped wearing this anyway, but now it's gonna be the look. Everybody's gonna be wearing it, and hopefully more mascaras of this trend are going to be coming out, because I absolutely love this thick, spidery, almost veering on clumpy lash. I'm so here for it. So the mascara I'm going to be using today is the Essence Lash Like a Boss mascara. This is in black. I did also see a lot of things saying that brown mascaras were going to be back in. I have never used a brown mascara, I don't think. I would be completely open to doing that, but I'm going to layer up this. One article that I read said about doing 3 layers of mascara, and that just seems completely mad to me, especially with this mascara because it's so intense. To really create that clump, that's what is going to be in, and I'm so here for it. It just goes along with that like 90s grungy sort of trend that we're seeing quite a lot of. Obviously picking and choosing the parts of the 90s that we want to relive, but yeah, the grungy makeup, the more natural skin but really like grungy eyes, I absolutely love it. So that's the lashes done. I absolutely love this mascara. If you can't tell, I love a clumpy lash, and this is like the epitome of what I look for in a mascara, and this is only 2 coats, so following that makeup artist's suggestion, or whoever it was that I read about saying to do 3, I don't think I could. I would just end up with one solid lash if I did 3 layers of this mascara, so I'm not going to be doing that. For the lips, again, I read a few things that said about this like bright pop of colour, and I love me a bright pop of colour, but I don't feel like with this metallic eye a bright pop of colour would necessarily go, so I'm going down another route that I saw come up quite a few times, that was a nude lip but so glossy that it looks like vinyl on the lips. So reflective, it's past the point of being a gloss. And I haven't actually tried this, so I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I think that this combination of products will work quite well. So for the lip liner, I'm going in with the Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in the shade Rosy Nude. And I've also read quite a few things that say that overlining is out as well. More of this natural, actually just following the shape of your lips is in, which I'm here for because I always end up looking like a clown when I overdraw my lips anyway. So that is just the lip liner. What a beautiful colour, I absolutely love it. And then I'm going over the top with another Essence product. This is the Caring Shine Vegan Collagen Lipstick, but it's so glossy but not glittery, and it's like really juicy feeling on the lips. You can see that reflection, it's so nice on the lips, but I think for this trend we need just a touch more, so I'm going in with the Re-Love Baby Gloss Lip Gloss. This is just in the clear shade, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab it on with my finger so that I don't get this all dirty, just to really amp up the gloss factor. Do a little bit more. It's so glossy and juicy, and like obviously this isn't going to last, like these lip products aren't going to last all day, but I love how it looks. So I think just a tiny little bit more of that highlight, specifically just across the top of the upper lip there, to really like juice up that area a little bit more. And while I'm there I will also put a little bit on the inner corner because it's me and why not. And that is me done. The skin looks so juicy and delicious. So much blush. The highlight on the end of my nose I may have gone a little bit crazy on now that I'm looking in the viewfinder there, so I'll just blend that out a little bit. But I absolutely love how this has turned out. Let me know what trends you are looking forward to in 2023, if there's anything that you wish would come back around. Obviously all of these trends, they're always coming back, they're always coming back in new, exciting and wonderful ways. So let me know what you want to see in the coming year from the makeup world. But if this is what it's going to be, I cannot wait. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!